In a small forgotten town where time seemed to stand still and memories lingered like the mist over the river, lived an old man named Henry. Henry was known by the townspeople for his gentle smile and the stories he shared about the days gone by. Yet, behind those kind eyes lay a heart heavy with sorrow. Henry had lost his wife, Margaret, 30 years ago in a tragic accident. The pain of that day never left him, lodging itself deep in his soul like an uninvited guest. Every evening at sunset, Henry would walk down to the riverbank, to the spot where he and Margaret had first met. He would sit on an old wooden bench, worn by time and the elements, and speak to her as if she were beside him. He told her about the changing seasons, the new generation of children playing in the town square, and how the old oak tree in their garden still stood strong. The townsfolk often saw him there, talking to the empty space beside him, and their hearts ached for the love that could not fade. One chilly autumn evening, Henry felt particularly weary. His steps were slower, and his breath more labored than usual. He reached the bench, lowering himself onto the familiar spot with a deep sigh. Closing his eyes, he imagined Margaret's soft hand in his. As he spoke of his day, a single tear slid down his cheek. Night fell quietly, and the stars began to twinkle in the velvet sky. The river whispered its eternal song, and the leaves rustled softly in the breeze. The world seemed to hold its breath, mourning with Henry. The next morning, when the early risers passed by the riverbank, they found Henry sitting peacefully on the bench, a serene smile on his face, as if in mid-conversation. His spirit had joined Margaret's at last. The townsfolk held a quiet service for Henry, placing flowers on the bench where he had spent so many evenings. They whispered their goodbyes to the man who had taught them the enduring nature of love and the echoes of yesterday. And so the story of Henry and Margaret became a timeless tale, a gentle reminder that true love never truly dies, but rather lives on in the whispers of the wind and the hearts of those who remember.